Hi, this is Harnett with a one-take Work.Love.Play daily video blog. And I've been asked where I'm going to head next now that I've discussed a lot about crowdsourcing and the 12 at 12 experience. And really where I want to spend most of my time is talking about behavior change and is it possible to actually change people's behavior and or maintain it, because some people have great behavior that we really do want to maintain. And I decided that I want to start with voting, since tomorrow is election day, and I hope you all get out to the polls. But how do we influence you to do that? Because only about 40% of Americans do vote. And there's been a lot of work on how to change that behavior of a single event. Voting in many ways, if you think about it, is one of the most non-threatening behavior changes we can make in people who don't vote, because it's a single event, it's very fast, it's very easy. So how do we change it? And there's been a lot of work on behavior change around voting. Here's what they've really found. They have found that the most influential way to affect whether someone shows up at the polls or not is to talk with them in person. The second most influential way to do it, but with much less effect, is to mail something to somebody directly. So number one is in person, number two is mail, but with a much greatly diminished effect. And basically phone calls make no impact at all. No impact at all. Let me say that again. So how do we want to take this information? How do we want to use it? Well, because we are a diverse group of people with lots of different things that drive our behavior, not just all of the normal things that we think about like culture and gender and racial identity sometimes, but even people's marital status and more importantly, their living condition can really dictate how they respond to one single event kind of changing. And if you think about it, voting in our world may be a lot more like having people get a flu shot or have a mammogram or have their annual physical. And what they found is that people who live by themselves do well when you meet with them in person, and or if you can get them on the phone in a meaningful conversation, and you ask them three things. You ask them, what time are they going to vote? Where will they be coming from when they do show up to vote? And what will they be doing before they do vote? And they found that people who live by themselves now have someone to reflect that process off. Interestingly enough, people who live with other people have absolutely no impact from this conversation. So interesting for us to extend that and to think about it in the case of people whose behavior we're trying to change, like to show up for a flu shot or to have their cholesterol level checked or to show up for that mammogram or to have that annual physical that you might want them to have. If they live by themselves, problem solving with them and working through the process with them could be very helpful. If they live with somebody else, it may have no impact at all. So there's a seed to plant. I hope you will vote tomorrow. I've had to plan my voting because I'm traveling out of town. And so what really spurred it for me was one of our local politicians showed up at my front door. We wound up having about a 10-minute conversation. She knew what my political affiliation was. She knew that I had voted the year before. She reinforced that we were from the same registered party and asked me to vote. I said, you know, it's interesting. I just realized I'm going to be out of town. And then I had to go through the process of filing absentee ballot. Where I live, not very easy, had to go to town hall and or online fill out a form that I then mailed to town hall. Here in the state that I'm traveling to, you could actually have voted online, so it would have been a much simpler process. So again, to take away from this single behavior change, talk to somebody in person, then possibly send them something in the mail. Don't even bother giving them a call. This is Harnett from the Work.Love.Play.Daily video blog, and I hope you remember to get some work done today, put in some time for having some love, and don't forget to play. Bye.